start by finding a comfortable seat. So you can sit on a couple of blocks. I'm sitting on a couple of cushions. But finding a seat that you're comfortable in and where your knees are same height or lower than your hips. So again, just using that as a way both to create a little bit of space, but also to protect your knees, and finding a space where you're actually sitting right on the sitting bones. So just start by just rocking forward and backwards, just so you notice whether you're starting to arch the back or whether you're collapsing into your abdomen. So even though in your first trimester you might not feel anything changing, maybe just sore breast, maybe just feeling a bit nauseous, but still finding a bit of stability. So keeping that stability throughout your pregnancy. So find your seat, sitting bones pressing down, crown of the head reaching. So already we are trying to create space in your body for all the changes that are happening. As we create space in our bodies, maybe it's easier to create space in our life. So finding a seat, let the shoulders relax. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. So just taking this moment just to connect to your heart center, to your breath. So it's your heart and your breath that will guide you through your practice today. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. We'll do that one more time, breathing in. Extend your arms above the head, your palms together, shoulders down. Release your hands away from each other, so your hands are probably shoulder distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. If it's uncomfortable with arms above the head, you just take your arms to the side. We're going to come into a gentle twist. We'll take the right arm behind us, left hand onto the right knee. So just being aware that your abdomen is still pointing straight forward, you start to twist in the upper body. You can look over the right shoulder. Inhale, extend all the way up again, shoulders down the back, and exhale to the other side. So your sitting bones are rooted, your heart is lifted. Inhale, extend all the way up. Exhale again, twist to the side. Again, abdomen facing straight forward, so stability through the pelvis. Extend it all the way up again. And bring your hands to the other side. Reach your arms all the way back into the middle. Bend the elbows, let the fingertips touch the top of your shoulder blades. We're just going to make small circles with the elbows. We're starting to become aware of the shoulders and shoulder joint moving. We're making the circles bigger and bigger. Easing off any tension that you may have between the shoulder blades and across the chest. Allowing any tension to be squeezed out. Creating space. We'll just do a couple of more rounds like this. And then release your hands either onto your legs or onto your womb. So finding this nice neutral spine. You're hugging your baby slightly in, or the growth of your baby slightly in, just so you're aware you're not arching in the lower back. You'll keep this nice length and stability through the spine. So from here, just drop the chin down to the chest, but keep the chest lifting up so your spine, the rest of the spine is still nice and long. Make your head really heavy, and then allow the head to roll all the way onto your right shoulder. The right ear towards the right shoulder. You're not pushing, you're just allowing the body to flow. Make the head heavy again, roll the chin towards the chest, and then roll it all the way out to the other side. So doing this from side to side. See if you can keep the stability through the rest of the body. So next time the chin is towards the chest, We'll keep it there. Keep your heart lifting towards your chin. And then release the head all the way up again. Wonderful. So let's start to move a little bit more. So we'll come onto our hands and knees. So we can shift any cushions or blocks away from us. So even if you can't feel a lot of change at the moment, there's still a lot of changes in the body. Hormones are changing. So what we want to work on is the stability of the body. So relaxing is starting to increase, or has already increased in the body. So your joints might feel more sore or delicate. So we can take a blanket across our mat if we feel we need a little bit of extra support. So relaxing is creating space for your baby to grow in your body and make it an easier birth when the time comes. But it moves in the rest of the body as well. So we come onto our hands and knees. We want to be mindful that we still feel stable through our joints. So really create a strong foundation. Spread your fingers out. Imagine spreading across the balls of your hands or underneath the knuckles. You press into your knuckles and into the pads of the fingertips to avoid any strain in your wrists. So let's just start to move with the body and the breath here. So on the inhale, you can start to round the back, so breathing in between the shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, extend the chest forward. So feeling the inhale rounding in, and the exhale to extend out. So finding space in the body. And so if you feel really uncomfortable at the moment, you can take a rest in the child's pose, so sitting back into the heels, resting the hip down. If you feel a bit more energetic and at the moment have no sign of nausea or morning sickness or heartburn, you can tuck the toes under, lift the knees and stretch into a downward facing dog. So even now you can start to create space in the body by bending the knees and just allowing the heels to ground you. You're not pushing or pressing away. If it's comfortable, you can start to straighten the legs a little bit, but keeping a bit of softness. So having that sense of staying grounded and stable. Let's come back down to our hands and knees. And from here we'll come into a bit of a twist. So keeping the knees aligned, the hips aligned. We come down onto our forearms. Bring the head down to the floor. So as we come down to these poses, just keep the lower back nice and long so you're not collapsing into the lower back, but there's a bit of stability. Bring the forehead down to the floor. Extend the arms out in front. So with this stability, we'll now move into a twist. So let's come onto our hands and knees. Take your left arm all the way underneath our right side, keeping the pelvis level, and stretch your hand underneath you. So again, you're stretching in between the shoulder blades. Keep your sitting bones drawing back. Come back to your hands and knees. We'll do this to the other side, so keep both sitting bones drawing back. Take your other arm underneath you, maybe come onto your shoulder, press your hand down. Keep both sitting bones pressing back. And back to your hands and knees. Let's stretch into a downward facing dog or a child's pose again. So lift the knees, stretch all the way up. And if you're in your downward dog, really feel that your hips are moving away from the rib cage. So already you're creating space, not just in your own body, but also for your babies. And back down into your knees. Sit back onto your heels. We'll stay seated. So if it's comfortable, you can sit onto your heels, or you can sit onto a block. So again, for that awareness of creating space, you can take the knees wider. If this is not good in your body, you sit cross-legged as we started, sitting on your cushions. But having that sense of creating stability, creating that strength to hold us throughout these changes. Bring your hands onto your lower abdomen just to start with. We'll just come into some moving meditation, a moving pranayama. And just sense the lower part of your being. We're starting to move with the breath. Just sense the inhale rising all the way up along the spine to the middle of the hip. And as you exhale, it releases down. This is a movement of prana in the body. Inhale, upward movement. Exhale, grounding, downward movement. We're going to keep this breath and awareness of breath, but we will use our hands to guide the breath. So have your fingertips nearly touching and keep them as low as you can. So with our breath, inhaling, rising up along the front of the body towards the middle of the hip, bringing the hands out to the side, probably palms aligned around the ears. Exhaling, the hands will move back into the front of the body, releasing down. So just with your own breath, the inhale rises up. And exhaling, releasing down. Following your own pattern of breath. Prana Mudra. A mudra that helps to increase and making us aware of prana or energy in our bodies, in our beings. And just do 2 more of these. Long breath in. And complete breath out. And once you finish that breath, interlace your fingers, extend your index finger away from you, and your thumbs away from your index finger. So the other fingers are interlaced, index finger pointing in one direction, thumb in the other. You can have this gesture, it's called Shakti Mudra, either at your heart, in front of your baby, or however it feels comfortable in the body. Shakti Mudra, or Yoni Mudra. So mudra associated with the womb or the cave, a place where we are grounded and stable, our source. So keeping your hands in this mudra, allow this gesture to be a place of being grounded and stable. At everything going on around us, all the changes, not in our own bodies, but in our relationships, with our family or even work, this is a place of being really stable and connected. Just rest your hands in this gesture. Maybe again take a few moments to close your eyes. You can exhale through the mouth if you need to feel that you're more grounded or stable. If you hold tension in your body, whether it's physical or mental. So you can stay in this meditation, or you can move on with your day or your evening, or with another practice. Thank you.